Welcome, Royals Empire, to the Royal Way here on Stadium Drive Sports. I'm here to review the last series the Kansas City Royals had against the Chicago White Sox. You may have noticed I'm not wearing a Royals jersey. No, this is Ken Griffey Jr. Why am I wearing this? Well, we've got a special episode for you today. I'm going to go over my top 50 favorite players of all time. Yes, this episode is jam-packed with several segments that I'm sure you'll enjoy. I've got a good one for you. You ready? Let's play ball! Alright, the Royals are taking on the team that was expected to win the Central Division. So it's good to get these games in. Let's get these wins. Amazingly, the hot team is the Minnesota Twins. Find out where they stand in the division. And find out where the Royals stand in the division after this series. We start with Game 1. Let's go. Game 1 of 3, Chicago White Sox at the Kansas City Royals. Alright, let's go. The series starts off with Dallas Keuchel on the mound for the White Sox and Daniel Lynch on the hill for the Royals. Both got off to great starts and had the bats cold in the first few innings in this cold weather, until the fourth inning when Bobby Sev reached on an infield single to third to score Salvador Perez. Mondesi grounded out the first, scoring Santana to get the Royals off to a 2-0 lead. After a quiet fifth, KC later added 4 runs on 3 hits in the 6th inning to make it 6-0. Daniel Lynch is your player of the game, going 6 innings, 98 pitches, only gave up 2 hits, 2 walks, and took down 7 batters himself. The bullpen does its job and closes out a 6-0 victory for the boys in blue. Alright, let's take a look at Game 1's box scores. It was a decent game overall for the Royals. Many of them did good. That's what's up. 11 walks was the reason and only 3 strikeouts. When you get a ratio like that, you're going to get a win. Alright, the Royal Way takes you to the second game of a cold weather series in the murder capital of the world, Southside. Zack Greinke started the game off by hitting the first batter, but he didn't give up a run in that inning. He waited till the second to give up one. He gave up another in the third and one in the fourth. That one was a home run to center, making it a 3-0 Stanky Sox lead. DeCeased was the pitcher for the Sox, and he had the Royals deceased with 0 hits through 5 innings. But the Pale Hose, they let the Royals slowly get back in it, and KC scores 2 in the 6th. Mr. Happy Meadows hit a sacrifice to center to score Bobby Sev to tie it up at 3. But the White Stockings answered back in the inning with a 3-run homer to left. Chi-Town adds another in the 8th to take the series to a Game 3 to decide a winner in this series, as the White Sox claim Game 2 with a 7-3 win. Let's take a look at the box scores for Game 2. Yeah, and it's not looking good. He had 3 really bad games. Perez with 3 strikeouts, Dozier with 3. He had 13 total for the team. Nobody had more than 1 hit. Whit Merrifield had the best game, able to drive in 2. And Colin Snyder sadly takes the loss in this. Zack Greinke gives up 3 on 5. Zack Snyder couldn't get out of that inning. But it's alright. We'll get things turned around for this bullpen. Alright, let's go to Game 3, the rubber match game to see who wins the series. It's 52 degrees at first pitch at 1:10 today. Andrew Benintendi gets things going early for the Royals. I love early runs, it sets a tone. And Brad Keller loves the sound of run support. The runs were kind of hard to come by in this, but the music plays on in the 5th as Benny conducts the band to a 2-0 lead with the sacrifice fly to left to score Cam Gallagher. Yeah, Kyle Isbell and Benintendi sure did have good games today, you'll see. But in the next inning, the Sox get one back and cut the Royals' lead in half. And Chicago ended up tying it later in the 8th inning at 2, and this would send it into extra innings. Let's see where it takes us. We're going into the 10th. Ooh, a throwing error and a Kyle Isbell 2-run single would end the Sox' hopes of winning this series. The Royals win 5-2. Alright, let's take a look at the individual performances for the game. We got Benintendi in the green and Kyle Isbell in the green. They both had good games. They were the heroes of the game. The bad news was Salvador Perez with 4 Ks on the day. Gotta get out of that funk. Brad Keller takes his ERA down to 2.28. In 6 innings pitch, only 3 hits given up on the day, and bullpen does its job. Scott Barlow, Stalmont, and Clark, way to go. And your Royal Way player of the series goes to pitcher Daniel Lynch. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. And as for your division standings, current and up-to-date as of today, you got your Minnesota Twins on that 7-game winning streak, 11-8. But the Royals are right behind them, second place. Just got to get that run total up. All right, who's got next? Who's up next on the Royals schedule? You should know. It is those darn New York Yankees. We take them on April 29th through May 1st. It's tomorrow, 7:10, Saturday, 6:10, and Sunday, 1:15. It's now time for your Royal Way news break in less than 1 minute. Alright, so the Pepsi Summer Fireworks are starting back up on Friday nights at Kauffman Stadium after the game. Plus, the next day, the Royals are going to have a cool after-game display of 200 drones Saturday night, and the Kids Fun Run on Sunday. This will all happen during the series with the New York Yankees. Umpire Angel Hernandez is getting booed more often nowadays. He has been suspected of blowing over 3,000 calls. He is right now considered the prime candidate for an eye exam. Only Don Denkinger is allowed to miss a call. The Royals City Connect fountain-themed uniforms will only be worn during Friday home games, so be sure to check those out before the fireworks show. Adalberto Mondesi tore his ACL and he is out indefinitely after 15 games out of 162. Bench is cleared in St. Louis as the Mets came to town with the best record of 14-5, but the most beanballs received. 19 Mets batsmen have already been hit. 6 batters were hit in the series alone up to that point. This crap needs to stop, seriously. Suspend the pitchers who intentionally try to hit the batter. It's now time for the Royal Way's top 50 favorite players of all time. Players 50 through 40. All right, we're going to start things off with OKC legend from the Kansas City Monarchs, Buck O'Neil at 50. 49 is Ozzie Smith. He's a flipping Cardinal. Kevin Seitzer, one of my faves growing up. Tony Gwynn, admired his batting average. Chipper Jones, 19 seasons, fun to watch. Roberto Alomar, solid position player. Jackie Robinson, revolutionary. Mickey Mantle, lucky 7. Joe Carter, he's a local hero. Mike McFarland, he's a tough catcher in blue. And Greg Maddux, he's like a pitching coach type. Players 39 through 30. So 39 is Pete Rose. Let him in. Well, that guy was intense. Pedro Martinez usually had a smile on his face. Fun pitcher. Shohei Ohtani, he is the complete show. Brett Saberhagen, all-time Royals ace. Jim Edmonds, always diving to make them catches. Max Scherzer, Tigers phenom. Talking about Mizzou, not Detroit. Ivan Rodriguez, Old Pudge. Kenny Lofton, home run robber. Bryce Harper, hype fulfiller. Zach Greinke, I'm so glad he's back. Players 29 through 20. 29 is Mike Sweeney, such a polite captain. 28, Torrey Hunter, always enjoyed watching that guy. 27, Johnny Damon, it's a cool guy right there. Eric Hosmer comes in at 26 as the ladies' man. David Ortiz, Big Papi, 2004 he was fun to watch. Frank Thomas, he'd hurt you big time. Craig Biggio, I always wanted to emulate that guy growing up. Billy Butler, Billy! Albert Pujols, a local guy I wish was a Royal. And Mark McGwire, don't miss batting practice. Players 19 through 11. Alright, we're getting closer to the top 10 as we reach number 19, Wade Davis. Check, please. Number 18, Lorenzo Cain. Intensity, let's go. Whit Merrifield, he's always good for 2. Number 16 is Kirby Puckett. He's a likable guy. It's a tragedy what happened to him, getting hit by that pitch. Lou Gehrig, story of inspiration. Satchel Paige, hometown legend. Read about him. Number 13, Moose. Ichiro Suzuki's number 12. I loved his style. Manny Ramirez, just being Manny, is number 11. Number 10, Randy Johnson. Yup, the big unit. Man, that guy was like 8 foot tall on that mound. Number 9, Ricky Henderson, the real-life Willie Mays Hayes. Man, that guy has stolen more bases than anyone. Number 8, Nolan Ryan. I mean, look at the guy. Indestructible. Ask Robin Ventura. Number 7, Alex Gordon. I've heard his name too many times to not have him embedded in my brain. Number 6, Miguel Cabrera. Talk about a fun-loving guy. Man, he made the game better. Number 5, Salvador Perez. Captain Salvi. Gotta love that guy. Number 4, Bo Jackson. How do you make someone's favorite all-time list? Bo knows. Number 3, Ken Griffey Jr. The kid. He'll take a home run away from you and hit one with a smooth swing. Number 2, George Brett. It's Mr. Royal. So many highlights. I'm so glad I got to see him live. Number 1, Babe Ruth. If you've seen the movie The Babe or The Sandlot, you'd know. The Great Bambino. Alright, Empire, we got to take a break. And when we get back, we'll play some Guess Who, got some trivia, take a look at the 1983 Royals later on. Did you have any of your favorite players show up? If not, comment down below, see if I missed any. I took some time on it, but not enough time. I would have done 250 players if I wanted to. There was a lot of players I wanted to mention that I liked, but didn't have the time. So maybe on another episode I'll do the top 1,000. Just kidding.
We won't help you with your driving skills, but we will help you in your fantasy league. Want to take home the prize and the pride in your fantasy football league? Don't worry, we got you covered. Tune in to Fantasize This, right here on Stadium Drive Sports. Hey there, I'm Kevin, host of the 12th Man at Arrowhead Drive. Be sure to tune in every Sunday and Wednesday for all your Chiefs content right here on Stadium Drive Sports.
Alright, I've got a special treat for you here on the Royal Way right now. I have an interview with George Brett. Yes, one-on-one. We knew we was going to come up. Hey, we finally made it, folks. Here on the Royal Way, live interview with George Brett coming up right here, right now. Oh, George, do you love the Royal Way?
Yeah, you love the Royal Way.
It's the Royal Way Viewer Prize of the Week. It's a beer koozie, some cigarettes for kids, and a deck of playing cards. They could all be yours if you just email us after the show at stadiumdrivesports@gmail.com. In the subject line, use the word slider. It's now time for the Royal Way's Best to Ever Wear It Awards. We are on the number 14. And the nominees are Storm Davis, Tony Graffinino, John Buck, and Omar Infante. And the winner is John Buck. John Buck played for the Royals as a catcher for 6 seasons, averaging about 12 home runs a year. He played for about 8 teams, meaning many teams passed the buck. Haha, I'm feeling funny. Let's do the Royal Way joke of the day. Did you hear that Salvador Perez actually won the 2018 presidential election in a Central American country? He renamed the small country El Salvador Perez. Did you know? Did you know the Mendoza line is a term used to describe a batter hitting at or below 200? Yeah, and credit has been given to George Brett for making the term popular in 1980, during his slump before hitting 390. Alright, Empire, it's trivia time. How tall was the shortest player in the history of Major League Baseball? Was it A, 3 feet 7 inches, B, 4 feet 10 inches, C, 5 feet 2 inches, or was it D, 4 feet 6 inches? He's just vertically challenged. Alright, and the answer is A, 3'7". That's right, Eddie Gaedel had one plate appearance during a doubleheader on August 19, 1951. He got a walk. He weighs in at 60 pounds and standing 3'7" tall, becoming the shortest player in MLB history. It was a stunt. And there's his jersey, 1/8. Look at that little guy. Could have been the bat boy. Too bad he didn't hit a homer. Out of our active players, we've got Jose Altuve, Tony Kemp at 5'6", and at 5'7" we got Terrence Gore, ex-Royal, and Colton Wong. And when it comes to the non-active players, you got ex-Royal Freddie Patek at 5'5", and David Eckstein, Phil Rizzuto of the Yankees, both at 5'6". Guess? Woo! I was drafted in 1993, and in 1996 I got my start in the majors with the Atlanta Braves. I hit a home run in my first major league at-bat. How about that? The Royals traded Keith Lockhart and Michael Tucker for me in 1997, where I played 158 games for the Boys in Blue. In 1999 I made the All-Star team and hit 26 homers playing left field. And no one to this day understands why I was traded for the worst player in the entire league with Nefi Perez in 2001. I went on to have some great years ahead. The host of the Royal Way thinks it was because the new front office sucked. Royals' new general manager Allard Baird and owner David Glass just couldn't keep their core players together. The Royals had too much talent and too little desire to invest. And they learned their lesson. Yeah, if Sean could put words in my mouth, it'd go something like this. If y'all don't want to field a contender, we're out. Casey had a chance to be great with Johnny Damon, Carlos Beltran, Mike Sweeney, and I. Whatever. Glad y'all have Dayton Moore now. Peace. Thanks for the love, Casey. I am Jermaine Dye. It's now time for the Royal Way to take you through the years with the Kansas City Royals, and we are on the year 1983. The 1982 offseason had the Royals optimistic about the upcoming 83 season. They had re-signed Hal McRae and pitcher Paul Splittorff. They traded for Charlie Leibrandt, George Orta, and Steve Balboni. They drafted Gary Thurman and Kevin Seitzer. General manager John Schuerholz sure messed up a chance to get Cecil Fielder. Alright, let's take a look at how the division looked in 1983 in the AL West. The Kansas City Royals, 20 games back in second place. Man, either the Chicago White Sox really kicked the whole division's butt, or yeah, I think it was that. And Willie Wilson's speed takes him to the center field position for half the year and moves 36-year-old veteran Amos Otis to right field and shares that spot with Pat Sheridan. 25-year-old Butch Davis played left while Willie Wilson wasn't. How many Willies could Willie Wilson will if Willie Wilson could Willie will Willies? I really don't know. But here are your 1983 Royals starters, and Bud Black, Larry Gura, and Steve Rinko, Paul Splittorff all did horrible. Well, considering how they've done over the past few years, it's really a down year. And Vita Blue, he can go. Trade him. 1983 Royals relievers, same thing, except for Dan Quisenberry, who led the entire league with 45 saves somehow. 1.94 ERA, that dude does magic, and he does it underarm. You can't pass that quiz. On August 5th, the Royals released their hole-in-the-bucket Vita Blue, but the Boys in Blue still fell blue after their worst win-loss record since 1974. They've got youngins Buddy Biancalana, Darryl Motley, Danny Jackson, Pat Sheridan, and Butch Davis to look forward to, though. I don't know about Butch Davis. George Brett went for an average of .310 with 25 home runs, 93 RBI. Designated hitter Hal McRae hit for .311, 12 home runs, and 82 RBI. It was a down year for the Royals, like I said. They were one of the oldest teams. One guy was 44 years old, Hall of Famer pitcher Gaylord Perry. It was the last season of his 22-year career. On July 24th, 1983, the Royals were trailing the Yankees 4-3 with 2 outs in the top of the ninth when George Brett told a teammate, "Watch this baby fly." Smack. He hit a 2-run blast off a Goose Gossage, 98-mile-an-hour fastball right into New York's right field upper deck. Brett was called out on the play and the game concluded. Umpire Tim McClellan met with New York manager Billy Martin to examine and measure Brett's pine tar usage on his bat. It exceeded the 18-inch. The plate was 17 inches. They measured it, and this, of course, is known as the pine tar game, which was overturned and continued on August 19th in front of only 1,200 fans. The American League returned the bat to Brett on July 28th. He used it in a few games against Detroit. An old wise Gaylord Perry reminded George, "It's not worth much broken too." Brett sold the bat to a collector for $25K. He later regretted it, but was able to get it back. The bat that hit 3 home runs in Game 3 of the 1978 ALCS, a 7-grain Louisville Slugger, now sits in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. And that's in New York. Very close for the Yankees to go check that out. And as for us, let's check out how the postseason went in 1983. The playoffs had the Baltimore Orioles advancing with the Phillies to go to the World Series. And the Baltimore Orioles defeated those Phillies who beat us in 1980, 4-3 in the best-of-7 series. Your league MVPs were Cal Ripken Jr. and Dale Murphy in the NL. Your Cy Young Award winners Lamar Hoyt and John Denny. ALCS MVP Mike Boddicker, Gary Matthews in the National. Rick Dempsey was your World Series MVP, All-Star Game MVP Fred Lynn, and Rookies of the Year Ron Kittle and Darryl Strawberry. And your Royals 1983 All-Stars were George Brett with his 7th, Willie Wilson with his 2nd, and Dan Quisenberry with his 2nd. Well deserved for Dan. To be continued with 1984. Alright, Empire, at this time I'd like to thank y'all for watching. It's been great. I hope y'all had fun. If you did, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. I've got a brand new one on Monday coming up for you with a wrap of the New York Yankees series. So stay tuned for that. And it's always a pleasure having you here on the Royal Way. And I'll see you next time.